Iran is sending a message across the water and across the region. In a 2-day power drill in the Gulf and the Sea of Oman, the IRGC Navy has fired waves of ballistic and cruise missiles at simulated targets, claiming it is ready to hit any foreign force that miscalculates near its shores. At the same time, Tehran is verbally attacking Abu Dhabi after UAE-backed separatists in Yemen marched on new oil-rich territory, threatening to redraw the map of the South. Missiles beyond the Gulf. According to the IRGC Navy commander, the most important weapon on display was a brand new missile whose range exceeds the length of the Persian Gulf. The Gulf is roughly 1,375 kilometers long. That means this missile can theoretically hit targets far outside the narrow waterway, reaching deep into the Arabian Sea and towards U.S. and allied assets across the region. Iran says the weapon is fully indigenous, built by the Guards Navy, and can be guided even after launch, turning it into a long-range, maneuvering threat against warships or fixed bases. State media and military outlets say the drill featured Qadr 110, Qadr 380, and Ghadir cruise missiles alongside 303 class ballistic missiles, fired from inland positions toward targets in the Gulf of Oman and near the Strait of Hormuz. Launching from dispersed sites inside Iran, rather than just from coastal batteries, is meant to prove that Iranian missiles can survive a first strike and still rain down on enemy fleets. Commanders describe the exercise as a direct warning to Israel and U.S. partners. The sea is no longer a safe buffer, and any attack on Iran will be met with rapid, long-range retaliation. Drills, drones, and deterrence. This Eqtidar, or power drill, stretched from the Strait of Hormuz to the Gulf of Oman, the same choke points through which a large share of the world's oil and gas flows. Iran says it combined missile launches with drones and air defense maneuvers, showcasing artificial intelligence-based targeting and what it calls the unwavering resistance of its sailors. For Tehran, these images serve two audiences at once: reassurance to friendly neighbors in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization that Iran can police its own waters, and a hard warning to Western navies that any mistake will draw a decisive response. Western governments see the same footage very differently. They argue that Iran's expanding ballistic arsenal, already advertised with maximum ranges up to about 2,000 kilometers, threatens regional stability and could one day be mated with a nuclear warhead if Tehran chose that path. For Israel, Gulf monarchies in the United States, inland anti-ship launches and longer-range precision strikes complicate every deployment of carriers, tankers, or bases within that radius. Iran versus UAE over Yemen. While missiles fly at sea, Iran's political fire is aimed at Abu Dhabi. Tehran's veteran strategist Ali Akbar Velayati issued a fierce public rebuke of the UAE after the Southern Transitional Council, a separatist force long backed by Abu Dhabi, surged across parts of Yemen's Hadramaut province. STC fighters have seized key cities and oil fields in southeastern Yemen, raising their flag and openly pushing to resurrect an independent South Yemen under their control. Velayati accused the Emirates of using Yemen to project power over critical waterways. He demanded to know why UAE forces were on Yemeni soil, why they had occupied the island of Socotra, and whether Abu Dhabi now also claimed influence over Bab al-Mandeb and even the Strait of Hormuz itself. Tehran reads the STC's advance as a strategic move coordinated with Western maritime ambitions and as a direct challenge to Iran's Houthi allies and to its own vision of dominance along the Red Sea and Gulf shipping lanes. Yemen's map at risk on the ground, the STC offensive has shattered a fragile stalemate in a war that has devastated Yemen for a decade. Their capture of much of Hadramaut and its energy assets threatens to formalize a north-south split, with Saudi-backed forces and the Houthis controlling the north while UAE-aligned separatists consolidate the south. Saudi Arabia has already scrambled officials to the region, trying to calm the situation and supervise limited withdrawals from some facilities. But clashes and casualties among STC-aligned troops show how volatile this new front is. For Iran, an empowered STC backed by Abu Dhabi could weaken Houthi leverage in any final settlement, undermine Tehran's influence on the southern coast, and give the UAE and its partners more control over oil routes and choke points. That is why missile drills in the Gulf and angry rhetoric over Yemen are part of the same picture. Iran is signaling that any attempt to squeeze it by land or sea will be met with both political backlash and hard military power. Range, reach, and red lines. A missile that can fly beyond the Gulf's 1,375-kilometer length FI.